Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine, even in a warm room? The line between our world and the next is thinner than you might think. There are things that beckon them, attract them to our side. Things we do, places we go, even energies we harbor. This isn't about cheap thrills, man. We're about to delve into the things that attract ghosts, the things that make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Get ready, because this is where things get real. In both Islam and Christianity, cleanliness is paramount. It's a principle that transcends mere physical hygiene. It's not just about physical hygiene, it's about spiritual purity. The act of cleaning is a form of devotion, a way to honor the sacred. Think about it, when you feel dirty, don't you feel wrong somehow? That discomfort isn't just physical, it touches your spirit. Now imagine carrying that weight on your soul. The burden becomes heavier, more oppressive. They're drawn to it, like flies to something rotten. The negative energy attracts them, feeding off the decay. The neglect, the decay, the disregard for sanctity. It's a breeding ground for the unseen, for the malevolent. It creates an opening, you see. A vulnerability in the fabric of our reality. A crack in the foundation of our world, and through it, they can seep. These cracks are more than physical. They are spiritual fissures. It's why places of worship are kept meticulously clean, why rituals of cleansing are so important. These rituals are not just traditions, they are safeguards. It's about maintaining a barrier between our world and theirs. A clean space is a fortified space, a sanctuary. Because believe me, you don't want to invite them in. The unseen can be relentless once they find a way in. Often there's an element of neglect, of things gone wrong. This neglect is an invitation, a welcome mat for the supernatural. So keep your space clean, your soul even cleaner. Purity in your surroundings reflects purity in your spirit, creating a haven for the seen and unseen alike. Places hold energy, the laughter of children, the warmth of a family meal, the quiet moments of reflection. But what happens when those energies are gone, replaced by silence and decay? Abandoned places are like open wounds on the earth, bleeding remnants of the past. They're caught between worlds, neither fully in this realm nor the next, and that makes them a beacon, a magnet for entities searching for a foothold. Think about an abandoned hospital, still echoing with the pain and fear of those who suffered there. These places are haunted by their past, by the residual energy left behind. You're stepping into a place where the veil is thin, where the echoes of the past are all too real. Both Islam and Christianity warn against dabbling in the dark arts. Witchcraft, sorcery, necromancy, these practices are forbidden for a reason. They tamper with forces beyond our understanding, opening doors that were meant to stay shut. It's like setting out a welcome mat for anything lurking on the other side. These practices attract negative entities, things that feed on vulnerability and fear. They're drawn to the energy these rituals create, the desperation, the longing to connect with the unknown. The problem is, you never know what you're going to get. The consequences can be dire, not just for the individual, but for anyone who comes into contact with that energy. Negative energy. Fuel for the shadows. We all experience negative emotions. It's a part of being human. But when those emotions fester, when anger, hate, jealousy, and despair take root, they create a breeding ground for something darker. Think of it like this. Positive energy is like sunlight. It nourishes and sustains. Negative energy is like a disease. It festers and corrupts. Ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call them, they're drawn to negativity like sharks to blood. It gives them strength, a way to latch on and feed. Ever notice how some places just feel heavy, like a weight is pressing down on you? That's negative energy. The energy of those events lingers, creating a magnet for entities seeking to feed off that pain. Chapter 5. The Witching Hour. When the veil is thin. Time itself seems to bend in the dead of night. The world grows quiet, shadows deepen, and our connection to the other side intensifies. Both Islam and Christianity acknowledge that certain times of night are more prone to spiritual activity. The hours between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. are often referred to as the witching hour. It's believed to be a time when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest, when the barrier between the living and the dead weakens. Whatever the reason, the witching hour is a time to be cautious. Chapter 6. Graveyards, where the dead sleep, or do they? Graveyards, cemeteries, burial grounds. They're the final resting place for our physical bodies. These places are often serene, filled with rows of tombstones and monuments, each telling a story of a life once lived. But what about our souls, our spirits? Do they find peace, or do they wander, seeking closure or connection? Both Islam and Christianity believe that death is not the end, but a transition to another realm. This belief is shared by many other cultures and religions around the world, each with their own unique interpretations of the afterlife. Graveyards are inherently connected to the afterlife, places where the veil between worlds is naturally thin. This thinness allows for a unique interaction between the living and the dead, a space where memories and spirits can coexist. It's the proximity to death, to the departed, that makes these places so alluring to both the living and the dead. The rituals and ceremonies performed here are a testament to our enduring connection to those who have passed on. It's also the energy of grief, sorrow and loss that permeates these places. This energy can be palpable, almost tangible, as it weaves through the air, touching everyone who enters. That energy can linger, creating a sense of unease, a heaviness in the air. It's as if the emotions of those who mourned here have left an indelible mark on the very ground. It's a reminder that while our physical bodies may decay, our spirits live on, and sometimes they linger in the places where they felt most connected in life. These spirits may be seeking solace, or perhaps they are simply not ready to move on to the next realm. Chapter 7. Cursed objects, vessels of unseen forces. Objects hold energy, a silent witness to the lives and events they encounter. The watch your grandfather wore every day, the necklace passed down through generations, a child's toy tucked away in an attic. These items are more than just objects. They are keepers of memories and emotions. These objects absorb the energy of the people who owned them, the events they witnessed. They become silent storytellers, holding on to the essence of their past. But sometimes, objects can hold something more, something darker. They can become vessels for energies that are not just residual, but actively malevolent. Cursed objects, as they're known, are believed to be vessels for negative energy, even malevolent entities. These objects are feared for the dark forces they might harbor. These objects might have been used in dark rituals, imbued with negative intent, or come into contact with traumatic events. Their history is often shrouded in mystery and fear. Whatever the reason, they radiate an unsettling aura, a sense of wrongness. This feeling can be palpable, making the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It's a reminder that not everything is as it seems, and sometimes the most unassuming objects can hold the darkest of secrets. They serve as a cautionary tale, urging us to look beyond the surface and consider the unseen forces at play. The desire to connect with the other side is a powerful one. We long to speak to loved ones who have passed, to gain insights into the mysteries of the afterlife. But attempting to communicate with spirits is a dangerous game, one that can have unintended consequences. Both Islam and Christianity warn against attempting to contact the dead. It's seen as a violation of the natural order, an invitation for something unwelcome to cross over. You have no way of knowing what's on the other side, what kind of entity you might encounter. You might get lucky and connect with a benevolent spirit, but you're more likely to attract something malevolent. The spirit world is not to be trifled with. Both Islam and Christianity emphasize the importance of living a righteous life, free from sin. Sin, in this context, isn't just about breaking religious laws. It's about actions and thoughts that go against the natural order, that create disharmony within ourselves and the world around us. When we engage in sinful behavior, we create a disturbance in our spiritual energy. It's like a crack in our armor, a vulnerability that can be exploited. That disharmony acts like a beacon, attracting negative entities who feed off that energy. It's not about punishment, it's about understanding that our actions have consequences, not just in this life, but potentially in the next. Faith is more than just belief, it's a shield, a source of strength and protection. It's the light that guides us through darkness, the anchor that keeps us grounded in times of turmoil. Both Islam and Christianity stress the importance of cultivating a strong spiritual connection, of seeking refuge in a higher power. When we lack faith, when we lose our connection to something greater than ourselves, we become vulnerable. It's like venturing into a dark forest without a map or a compass. We become easy prey for the unseen forces that lurk in the shadows. Cultivating a strong spiritual practice is essential for maintaining spiritual hygiene. We've walked through some dark territory tonight, explored the things that beckon the unknown to our doorstep. Knowing what attracts these entities empowers us to protect ourselves, to strengthen our connection to the light, and to navigate this world with a deeper understanding of the forces at play. Stay vigilant, stay protected, and never underestimate the power of the unseen.